Viewed as the holiest place in Judaism, with thousands flocking to the site daily for pilgrimage and prayer. The Western Wall, also referred to as the Wailing Wall, is one of the last remaining walls of the Temple Mount, which is an elevated area in the old city of Jerusalem. Citizen TV's Stephen Leto traveled to Israel to witness how different faiths come together to mark Christmas and the festive season in Jerusalem. Here is his story.
Over 5,400 kilometers away and an 8-hour flight from Kenya's capital, Nairobi, across the Red Sea, lies the historical city of Jerusalem, the capital of Israel. Drive through the streets of Jerusalem is like a journey through the biblical pages. Our tour takes us close to the Mount of Olives, which one can see clearly on our left.
Where was Jesus buried? All the soldiers are nobody knows. That's the whole point. So Jesus is here.
This southern part of the Mount of Olives is adjacent to the territory of the Kingdom of Judah. This is also about a 2-hour drive from Capernaum, the town regarded as the second home of Jesus Christ. The Mount of Olives is close to the city of David.
Add to this that she finds a stone in this shape. This is a replica, but hanging over there. That's a capital on top of a pillar that we know from the First Temple period. It's not unique to Jerusalem. We find this all over the north of the country where the Phoenicians were.
Rocks here are the remains of King David's palace. The palace was positioned on an elevated area that overlooked the surrounding hills of Jerusalem. Any enemies who attempted to invade the palace will be spotted before they could mount a surprise attack. The city of David brings biblical Jerusalem to life at the very place where kings and prophets of the Bible walked. It is at this site where internationally acclaimed archaeological discoveries have been made, including the Pool of Siloam, where Jesus healed a blind man, the Gihon Spring, Pilgrim Road and Hezekiah's Tunnel, which he used to fortify the city against invading enemies. A few meters from King David's palace is the Wailing Wall or Western Wall. This is regarded as the holiest part of Jerusalem, where Abraham bound Isaac and almost sacrificed him to the Lord. The Western Wall is the remnant of the temple.
The Western Wall is the closest to the place where the Holy of the Holiest used to be, the stone of foundation where the sacrifice of Isaac almost took place. So actually the Western Wall is the closest to the place that is the holiest for the Jews and Christians around the Temple Mount.
Well, this is the Holy Temple in Israel, and thousands have thronged here coming to make their wishes. We can get inside and see what the temple has to go. I've also made my wish. Let's get to see what is happening inside the temple.
It is almost 8 p.m. here in Israel, which is about 9 p.m. in Kenya. Long queues continue to be witnessed in this area as visitors from across the world await their turn to pray at the Western Wall, even if they will stay here all night.
Dvorah just told me that you are VIP for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, right? So I want to take you from the VIP entrance to the Temple Mount, right?
From the young to the elderly, no one wants to be left behind. Security officers also lined up here to seek divine guidance in their duties. Before walking towards the Wailing Western Wall, one is offered a piece of paper to write their prayer requests. So that is what I did. I took a piece of paper, wrote my prayer, and waited patiently for my turn to approach the Western Wall. As you pray, it is hard to hear what the next person is praying for because of the sound of thousands of prayers made by visitors here every minute of the day. According to records here, at least 6 million people visit the Western Wall every year.
Just before COVID, we had 4 million people right here, tourists from outside of Israel. But we have Israelis as well. So how many people are really coming to visit the Western Wall a year? It can get to 6 million easily. Okay, 4 million from outside and at least 2 from inside Israel.
From the Western Wall, a 30 minutes walk uphill takes you to Golgotha, where Jesus was crucified. Underneath is a special holding area where the body of Jesus was placed as it was being prepared for burial. This is also another holy prayer site. I placed my phone on this reverend location and prayed for all my contacts.
Golgotha Hill, Golgotha means the skull of Adam is buried underneath the place of the crucifixion. This is the place where Jesus was crucified. Very next by, very close to the place of the crucifixion, is the place of the burial. The place of the burial was donated to Jesus from Joseph the Arimathea because in that time until today we still not allowed to carry a body of a dead person in Jerusalem till after Shabbat is finished. So they had to hurry up and to bury Jesus as fast as possible, and they buried him in the tomb of Joseph the Arimathea.
We are now a few meters from the tomb. It is believed that this is where the body of Jesus was buried before the resurrection 3 days later. The place is well maintained and preserved.
Friday they buried him, and then Sunday comes to visit the tomb Maria Magdalena and Virgin Mary, his mother. When Maria Magdalena goes to the tomb, she sees that the rounded big stone that covered the entrance to the tomb was removed, and she understands that somebody came in. When she's going to see the tomb, you saw the big sarcophagus, you saw the big stone. She sees that the big tomb was left open. She's walking to the side and she's crying.
Thousands also gather here at night to visit the tomb. And when it is time to close, there is a special prayer offered every night here before the site is closed until the following day.
Good night. Good night.
Thank you.
Some food.
When everyone leaves the graveside, silence kicks in and Israeli security forces take over to protect the site. The number of foreign tourists to Israel decreased over the last 2 years because of the COVID-19 pandemic, but it is estimated that by 2025, an average of 5.6 million people will visit this holy land every year. This is nearly a third of the 2 million tourists that visited Kenya prior to the COVID-19 pandemic. Stephen Leto, Citizen TV, Jerusalem, Israel.